Alrighty, so these are probably like the 4 themed girls of the 4 pinball tables, is my guess. I know for a fact that there are 4 pinball tables in this, so it's gonna be like military pinball, space pinball, cowboy pinball, and then like, I don't know, whatever that is on the left pinball. Create new profile. Xbox Live. Oh, right, I'm not connected. Never mind. Never mind. I have no idea if this is supported anyway. Glass overlay, glass reflection. Oh yeah, hang on. I have to post this in the Discord. This is important. I found... hang on. Hang on, this might take a second. Yeah, okay, check this out. I was looking at this game's files, right? And I found what I assume is the texture used for the glass reflection, and it reveals who you're playing as in this game. Where are they? I've posted it in the Discord. That's who you're playing as in Pure Pinball. He's the protagonist. I assume that's the glass reflection texture. And I also assume that's just a developer who pointed a camera up at himself. Anyway, what do we got for tables? Yeah, excessive speed. Excessive speed. This is like a car-themed table. Which one of the anime girls is for cars? World War is obviously the military girl. Train is... Hang on. I thought it would be like a... It's not like a Wild West train, is it? Well, it kind of is. This is the cowboy girl, and this is the space girl. We'll start with the space one, because it's the most familiar with the whole, like, Windows XP pinball. Just love a space pinball table. Ooh, in the 1970s, pinball machines began to adopt computer tech. I couldn't read that. Hello? I didn't get to read that. The history of pinball on the loading screen. Anyway, this does appear to be pinball. It is actually a little bit better looking than I was expecting. Oh. Well. Okay, no, we're fine. They refunded my ball because it was too sad. Yeah, it's just LNR. I don't know if we're going to have like a goal for this game or anything. Or if I'm just going to play all 4 pinball tables. We'll see if I can like... I don't know if this is too ridiculous of a goal, but a potential idea is to beat the default high score for each table, which I think was set to 100 million. That might be excessive. I'm not really getting anywhere close to 100 million right now. I don't know if you can bump the table. There doesn't appear to be like a tilt mechanic. Oh, I'm still on ball 1. I lost a ball, but they didn't actually take it from me for some reason. I really have to get my DNS stuff set up so that I can play these sorts of things on Insignia. If the leaderboard is up for this on Insignia, I think it would be really funny to get top of the leaderboard. shoot. I checked the other day when I was trying to set Insignia up on this new Xbox, and I am still the king at Metal Slug 3. Nobody beat me. I'm still certified world's best Metal Slug 3 player. As one of 2 people to bother 1CCing it and then uploading to Insignia. Oh man, we're going for multi-ball now. Okay. Saved it. And Thousand Land was fun. I never got to the top of Thousand Land. I was 1 game away from being the top of Thousand Land, and then the actual true goat of Thousand Land came and beat me. I was farming wins off Safe Sea, and then oh gosh, why am I blanking on his name? But that dude showed up and beat me. One of my multi-balls, yeah, Madman Epic. Of course. Which is funny because we essentially had the same setup. He had some flowers on his that were like deflecting my guys, that I had a harder time climbing up his tall walls. But other than that, we had both sort of organically came up with the exact same design. And it was just like, yep, this does seem to be the way. I'm bad. Arming mode is activated. I don't know what that means. I haven't played very much Pinball on stream before. We played Pinball Hall of Fame, the Gottlieb collection on GameCube. Like, it was a very early GameCube thing game, actually. It was like game number 20 or something. And I kind of gave up on that game because, like, it's just, I don't know. I kind of gave up on that game. Oh, that was my final. No, I do get another ball. But something about that game, first of all, they were all real pinball tables. But the mechanics for the pinball tables were all like way too complex. Like I originally wanted to do some kind of like properly beating the pinball tables goal, but you just had to keep a ball alive for like an hour to activate some of these mechanics, where like I just wasn't even coming remotely close, even on a really good run. And so I eventually gave up and just played every table and then moved on. Actually, the game started crashing as well. Well, I don't know about a literal hour, but I wasn't getting anywhere close, and I was like trying my best to aim at the correct targets and stuff. But some of those pinball tables had like 50 pages of instructions, and that I'm not exaggerating. Each pinball table would legit have like an instruction manual that came with it, and explaining the mechanics would take 40 to 50 pages for each of the tables, where it was just like, damn. Oh, I have a ball 4? Hell yeah. I really thought that was it. Normally you get 3 balls. I do wonder how much the crashing issue was that game's fault, though, versus the fact that at the time I was playing on Wii U. And, I mean, later we would find out that backwards compatibility with the Wii U is pretty good, but it still has problems. And a lot of games crash if you play them on Wii U that wouldn't crash on real hardware. But also we were having problems with the ball literally falling through the table and out of bounds. And I don't know if the Wii U could have caused that. Oh, I got the Neuro Tunnel. What does that mean? But yeah, Pinball Collection, or what was it called? Something Pinball Hall of Fame, the Gottlieb Collection, was kind of interesting because it had an advertisement for the actual Pinball Hall of Fame on it, which is a like tourist thing in Las Vegas. And what makes that interesting is that the Pinball Hall of Fame didn't exist yet. At the time, they were campaigning for like trying to raise funds so that they could build it. And as part of that, they released a GameCube game. And the GameCube game had an ad that was like, you know, coming in 2007, we're going to build a Pinball Hall of Fame right here in Las Vegas. But like the Pinball Hall of Fame didn't exist, but they still made a game out of it. They did open it. I've been to it, actually. I think it's moved a couple times since I was there. I think it's like right on the strip these days. At the time, it was in like the outskirts of Las Vegas in a warehouse. But it did end up opening. Nearly lost the ball there. $10 million? Why did I just get 10 million? You got... There has to be a bump, like a bump mechanic, right? How was I supposed to save that ball? Only 100k off. Oh no, we get a 5th ball too? Okay, never mind. Dream is still alive. I was gonna say, we were only 100k off 6-7. I do remember the Pinball Hall of Fame being pretty good, for the record. Like, I think they had a ton of pinball tables, but also kind of a lot of just, like, old arcade machines in general. And it was like at least at the time, I think it was just, like, pay... No, at the time I do think you had to pay individually for games. Never mind. That was a sad ball. It's probably over now. That was 5 balls. Yeah, game over. Only 5k off 69. Damn. Oh, I didn't mean to start another one. Hang on. Oh, view hints. Here we go. Shoot the left, right loops so that X1, X2, X3, and X4 light up. Shoot mushroom bumpers to select mode. Is that their official term, the mushroom bumpers? Shoot the start mode hole to begin mode. Spell fusion to unlock multi-ball collectors. Lock balls and collectors behind the fusion targets. Lock the multi-ball hole at the upper passage to start. That's too complicated. Maybe we'll return to this table at some point. How do I see the... Wait, it didn't save my score. Hello? I got 69 million. Where's my score? Oh, right, I played this one. There's my score. I'll just do them from the top now. But yeah, it's not the... Pachinko is pinball's Eastern ancestor. Oh. Believe me, I know. I wish I had worse loads so that I could read the loading screen text explaining the history of pinball. But yeah, I kind of suck at pinball, so I don't know if it's going to be possible for me to get 100 million. I don't know that I want to do that. Like, just so we're all on the same page, I'm not coming back for a second day of this. We're going to play this game for the remainder of this stream, and that's it. So what I get is what I get, but I'm obviously going to play all the tables and do my best on each one. But I've never really been much of, like, a pinball enjoyer. I know that, like... I know it is a skill thing. Famously, it was proven in court to be a skill thing. But, like... I don't know. It, like... For me, I'm just not a pinball gamer. This game does seem like it has pretty good physics, though. Like, as far as, you know, digital pinball games go, I feel like the table looks pretty good. The ball physics are good, I think. It's not like... The sense I get from pinball people is that, like, if they're playing a pinball video game, at least these days, they want, like, a real table. You know? Like, they want it to be a simulation of a table that exists in real life. But I prefer pinball video games to not be real-life tables. I feel like you can do more if you just accept that it's a video game. And then design your tables with, like, no expectation that they would work in real life. Exactly, that's why I love Sonic Spinball so much. Man, the Sonic Adventure Nights pinball table is so cool. As a kid, I didn't know that Nights was a thing. I didn't know what that was. Because, like, Sega Saturn, I'm a GameCube player, I don't know what that is. So I just thought it was, like, a cool thing. And I didn't know that that was, like, an actual thing. I was like, but I was a big fan of the Nights pinball table as a kid over the Sonic one. The Sonic one was lame. The Nights one had that cool moment where you go to, like, the back table and your ball flies through, like, the Nights world. That's just so fucking cool. I've never played Knight's Journey of Dreams on Wii. I, like, meant to play it, but I never got around to it, and, like, I hear it's kind of bad. It doesn't have great reviews, but, like, kind of interesting. It was really cool, but also really easy to trigger 6 times in one ball. Yeah, but, like... That's part of the fun. You get to see the cool thing. The ball flies through the Knight's world. That, like, exists within the pinball table somewhere, I guess. And you collect the different cards with, like, the Knight's creatures on it. Man, that was a bad ball. Yeah, you do have to wonder. Well, there's a lady outside the casino who has, like, a gambling problem. There's, like, a human outside the casino. He's like, I just keep going into the casino. This time I'm quitting for sure. And then you talk to her later in the game and she's like, I just can't help myself. Someday I will win. So, like, humans do go into the casino. But yeah, those pinball tables are definitely, like, humans could not do that. Because the ball is just Sonic. I mean, I guess in the main, like, lobby of the casino, there are just, like, normal slot machines. So I guess the humans use those. And then the giant pinball tables are just for Sonic. It's like how if you're, like, a high roller at a Vegas casino or whatever, like, they, you know, like, if you're, like, a billionaire and you're going to the casino, you have, like, a person assigned to you, and they're, like, your friend. They're assigned to you to be your friend for the weekend, and you get, like, your own table. You know, there's, like, a private table for you to play blackjack by yourself with your assigned friend. And for some reason, people like this. If Sonic is such a high roller that they've got, like, his own table just for him at the casino. They've built him that pinball table. Yeah, I can't remember the official name of the job, but yeah, if you're like, you know, if you're like one of those billionaire people who's gonna go and, like, gamble millions of dollars over the weekend or something, then like, you know, you fly in with your private jet, and then someone who works for the casino will like meet you at the airport and bring you to the casino and then like hang out with you and like get stuff for you and stuff like that. And it's like a specific guy where it's like every time you go, you will get this guy. And his job is to like handle the rich people. Yeah, a casino host. I think that's what they call him. Sonic definitely gets a casino host when he goes to Casinopolis Zone.
Bonus times 2.
Oh my god, this table sucks. Table sucks. You gotta be kidding me. It's a good thing that they refund you the ball in that case. They've got that mechanic for it. I feel like old pinball tables don't, and sometimes you just get scammed like that. I saw a YouTube video recently. I sort of just skipped through it, but I remember mentioning this a while back. How I felt like it would be a great YouTube series for someone to do who was like, you know, one of those like maker guys to make a real life version of the Windows XP pinball table. And when I looked it up at the time, there had been attempts to build it before, but nobody had ever actually finished it. There were a number of like technical challenges where like the table doesn't work in physical space for these reasons. But I saw a video like a couple weeks ago where someone is taking on the challenge once again, and they are going to make a series of YouTube videos out of it. So best of luck to that guy. I think that would be like the coolest object you could possibly own. The custom-built Space Cadet pinball table in real life. Yeah, pinball, I mean, it's like notoriously like terrible if you're an arcade operator, right? Because you gotta constantly be repairing it, and it's such like a complex mechanical machine like that. I mean, I'm content to just loop this forever. It's not that many points. How many points am I getting for this? 982. It's like 50. It's like 50k every time I get it in there. I don't think we're getting to 100 million this way, though. Every once in a while, they just randomly hand me 5 million, though. So, like, if I just keep doing this...
Race again is active.
I mean, there's like the... I feel like there's the stereotype of the conspicuously rich furry. It's like, where do they get all that money from? Maybe it could work. Maybe the furry-oriented casino could work. That's fine. Race again is active. She said the thing, so we're fine.
Race again.
Ooh, bonus times 4.
Combo. 4-1 locked.
No, 81 mil though. If I can get 20 mil in this ball, then we'll get 100. $20 mil in a ball is kind of a lot though. This has to be a good ball. A lot of pressure. Yeah, I mean that gets into like, you know, not to be like one of those guys.
Multi-ball.
Ooh, multi-ball. I feel like I'm not very good at talking about these kinds of things on the fly, like shit that actually matters. But, you know, it's part of like when people mention the K-shaped economy. I feel like that's a really lame name for it, but just the idea in general that it becomes better business to cater to a smaller number of rich people than to cater to everyone else. And so in the end, you know, you see businesses like, you know, Vegas casinos and stuff, basically only catering to rich people and just sort of greatening the divide in the process. It's like, maybe a bad thing. Oh, we're well over 100 mil now. I don't know what happened there. But we're good now. I am now the world's best ever excessive speed player, according to the default high scores. To be honest, when multi-ball starts, there's just so much crap flashing on the table that I don't even like. Did I get 2 jackpots each worth 25 mil there? I did not notice.
Race again is activated.
You know, maybe video games are going in that direction with how ridiculously expensive everything is now. $80 games, $800 consoles. Reminder that the GameCube was $100. Just throwing it out there during its lifespan. And still no one bought it, actually. But it was. It did happen. This is like the lamest way to play this table. If you just do this, the timing for it is very easy. It's just the tip of the right flipper and it goes right in. It's pretty easy to just loop this forever, but also, this is so lame. $160 for a 360 with GTA 4 included? What year was that? GTA 4 is like 2008 or something? For 360s really that cheap by I like... That must have been... Was that like an arcade model or something? Like... One of those like crappy ones that doesn't come with the hard drive? That's a pretty good deal. It's funny, GTA 6 stuff is so, I don't understand how it's so, like, singularly huge. Like, even my parents were asking me about it, because they heard about it on, like, the normal people news. They were like, do you have any thoughts on this? Grand Theft Auto 6? The disc isn't gonna be in the box. And I'm like, this is a complicated issue. I'm not sure where to begin explaining this to you guys. But like, damn, even they're hearing about this in like normal people news. It kind of is. Now, I did hear that, like, you know, and this is just like leaks and rumors, that they're gonna do an actual physical version shortly after launch, and that they're just trying to prevent leaks, prevent anyone from getting their hands on a disc early, that kind of thing. And, like, I suppose so. But also, why bother selling the box with the code in it in the first place? Like, just be like, hey, it's digital only. We'll and then do the physical version a couple months later. I don't know. I don't know. Question how that helps stops leaks. I mean, lots of games leak from retailers and things like that. You know. I have played so many games before they actually came out because of this. Because I played Breath of the Wild like 2 weeks before it actually came out because someone somehow got their hands on a copy. Of course, gaming has changed a lot since the Wii U. These days, theoretically, Rockstar could just like encrypt the executable on the disc and then have a day one patch, that kind of thing. But then people could try to like rip the disc and data mine it. I don't even know if that's a thing on modern games. Like, I don't know, but, you know, a lot of speculation in a lot of directions about things. But yeah, as it stands, the box is just a code in a box, which, like, I don't know, sort of brings back discourse about the game keycard on the Switch too, right? Where it's like, yeah, it's a physical copy, it's a cartridge that has absolutely nothing on it, but, you know, it kinda, you know, it's got the pros of physical. And, you know, it's like, it's sort of trying to do, like, the pros of physical and the pros of digital, but at the same time also carries all of the cons of physical and all of the cons of digital. It's kind of complex, but, like, you see something like that, and you compare it to the code-in-a-box approach, and it's like, well, I guess I do prefer a game keycard to a code in a box. It's the worst of both, like, it kind of is the worst of both worlds. Because now you have to download all that shit, and you still have to put the stupid thing in the console to play it. But then, at the same time, it's also, like, well, now it's a digital game that you can give to someone else or sell. You know, can't do that with the code in a box. I don't know, it's a bit of, like, a discourse singularity, GTA 6 stuff, where it's like, okay, hold up. $80 games, though. That's a whole discussion. And, you know, the fact that it's only releasing on console and not PC, and it's like, okay, well, it's because they're going to do their usual strategy and release the PC version in a year or two to get a bunch of people to buy it twice. Yeah, that's another thing, that it's $80, but also the $100 version has, like, what did they say? It's like the Ultimate Edition comes with extra locations and extra storylines or something like that, which is like, what the fuck is that? Like, hold up. Is there just gonna be an island where if you try to go there, you blow up unless you pay 20 bucks? Like, they're just cutting mission givers from the game, maybe? But then it's like, okay, well, to what extent, you know, I mean, in my opinion, this is like, day one DLC is such an old drama. You know, remember when people used to get up in arms about on-disc DLC back in like the PS3 and 360 days? This definitely feels like a, you know, an outgrowth of that, where it's like, if you made it before the game came out, it should have been included with the game instead of stripped out and sold separately for extra money. But then it's also like, you know, what if the game is the scope of a full game, and then the $20 stuff is just like, you know, pay 20 bucks and we've already made the Ballad of Gay Tony and we're including it for that 20 extra dollars. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. It's a discourse singularity. Crap. No, we're fine. think I don't like this table. I feel like I can't see this table because of the reflections, actually. I might turn the reflections off. The reflections do kind of look realistic, I guess, but also I can't see the top of the table. It's just like a blur up there. Assault. What does it mean? Oh, it means multi-ball.
Stay on target. Don't move. Stay on target.
Yeah, I do wonder about the future of the online as well. When GTA 5 came out on PC, I bought it day one, of course, and the online didn't work. Like, I tried to play the online and it wouldn't connect, and so I gave up, and I've never played the GTA 5 online. But, you know, I mean, I'm like totally disconnected from that whole world of like GTA, RP, and whatever else goes on in the online that makes it so popular and so like money making for them. I don't know. I really can't speak on what's going on there, but you have to wonder what they'll do for 6's online. Like, will they just keep updating the 5 online? Are they gonna like port it over somehow? Or yeah, like I saw some people saying like that they felt that there would be some kind of like in some way GTA 5's online would continue to live on. They did a retirement themed update last year and they had a very clear last heist ever update upcoming. Oh, okay, never mind then. There goes that theory out the window. I guess they'll just make 6 online and just be like, fuck you everybody, buy the new one. I don't know. I remember hearing at the time that the Red Dead 2 online was a bit of a flop as far as like it did not replace GTA 5's online or replicate its success. But I have my opinions on Red Dead Redemption relating to that. That's a bit of a hot take, so I don't know. I don't know how shareable it is. Oop. Is that the last ball? Man, only 19 million. What's the... Hang on, show... I'm quitting the table because I want to see the high scores for this. Do I need 100 million points on this table? The high score on that's I didn't even get to 20. Well, we have to play it again. I definitely have to get on the board. But I didn't even get 20 million points. This table sucks. Well, I just feel like the thing about Red Dead Redemption, right? So I've not played 2. I do have 2 on Steam, and I've never played it. Someday. But I have played Red Dead 1 on the PS3. And I feel like the whole Wild West thing is very limiting. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, steal a horse? And then what do you do in the next mission? Oh, look, steal another horse. Like, it's just very limiting compared to a modern setting, IMO. And I feel like online, like, who's doing cowboy shit online? Like, no, you don't drive the car around. No one cares about horses. So I can kind of see why it wouldn't be as big of a hit. I just feel like the Wild West stuff is kind of lame. And there's not that much to do. But that's my opinion. It's not a fact or anything. That's the sense I got. It's kind of like, it's kind of the same as the sense I got from like playing Bully, honestly, where it's like, who wants to play GTA where you're 14 and can't drive a car? Like, what do you even do at that point? That's like half the gameplay of GTA out the window. And they just replaced it with like shitty stealth missions and like bad beat 'em up gameplay.
Jackpot boosters are activated.
But you know, these are all bad takes. I acknowledge that. Yeah, imagine going around a city with bad beat 'em up gameplay. I would never play a game like that. Red Dead Online has a strong RP community. Yeah, like I could, but like it'll never be as big as GTA. Because there's only so many people who want to hang out and roleplay as a cowboy. I don't know, one of good internet friend of mine, Supersonic21, he built a stream off of role-playing in survival games, I think. I think he gets like a few dozen viewers, maybe. And I think all he does is like roleplay as a cowboy in Rust and stuff, in different like RP servers.
Defend. Don't move.
I can't figure out how you're supposed to get score on this table. Oh, I'm at 25 million, never mind. Somehow it figured itself out. I thought, I could have sworn I looked a second ago and I was at 5 million, but now it's 25, so we're getting on the high scoreboard at least. The Take-Two CEO acknowledged this in an interview. What did he say? I was reading, this morning I was watching PMC Trilogy, and I was reminded of the existence of Ken Levine. And I looked up what he's up to, and yeah, his game still hasn't come out, but there was a quote in the Wikipedia article from the Take-Two CEO, confidently stating that the game should come out in March of 2025. Which, like, okay. But that just reminded me that he was under Take-Two, which, like, damn, Take-Two sort of low-key are the kings of games that take 12 years to make, aren't they? Between GTA 6 and whatever Ken Levine's doing. They love to spend 12 years making one game, don't they?
Combo. Double combo.
Yeah, I mean, I could have sworn that game had a release date. It was announced at the Game Awards in 2022. The Ken Levine game. It's called Judas. I could have sworn that they had done a trailer with a release date at some point, but they actually didn't. There's still no release date, even though it was in development for 10 years and then announced 4 years ago. And then there's just still nothing. There's still nothing. That's pretty funny.
Combo.
There was literally nothing about Red Dead selling 85 million units that could signal a missed opportunity, and Red Dead Online has been immensely successful and long-lasting. Oh, I can just turn it off here? Okay, glass reflections off. Ooh, if I turn room scenery off, what happens? Oh, I hate that. It's coming back. Now we're just in the void. Room scenery back on. hang on. If we turn off the glass, I can't tell the difference.
Reload is activated. 1 million. 5 million.
5 million.
Don't move. Combo.
They sold 85 million Red Dead Redemption 2s. That's crazy.
Kickback.
Does it look? To me, it looks exactly the same. I couldn't tell the difference when I turned the glass off. Like here, let me turn it back on. Glass overlay on. Looking exactly the same. I mean, I turned off the reflections on the glass for sure. I think the reflections just make it so that you can't see anything. Well, 46 is on the board, so we're gonna take that. In 1934, the tilt mechanism was introduced. My loads are too good. I would love to read about the history of pinball, but my loads are just too good. This is a charming table. I like the, I like that it's got like a hillside and a mountain up in the corner. Like a huge amount of the table that's just dedicated to this sculpture of a mountain to give it some scenery. It's not just you, Abscond. The video quality is really poor. It's a technical issue I'm having with the Xbox. We were talking about it earlier. I think I'm gonna have to resort to some really drastic measures to try to fix it. No, I'm not gonna put it in the oven. That's not a 360. I'm not gonna reflow it by putting it in the oven, but I am going to try to get a broken donor Xbox that I can gut some parts from so that I can assemble it into one fully functioning Xbox. I think that's what I have to do. Maybe next electrical storm will fix it. Well, that one's long gone. The one that got, like, killed by lightning, that one went in the trash, like, over 10 years ago. No. So here's my complete history with Xboxes at this point. In high school, I had a friend give me his old Xbox that he said did not boot because it got, like, owned by a power surge in a storm. And that one truly did not boot. I think the error code on it was, like, corrupt BIOS or something was what it was indicating. So it seems like some kind of important chip in there had been fried by lightning, pretty much. So that Xbox never worked. I ended up getting rid of it and buying an actual working Xbox, because at that point I really wanted one. And that's what I was using for all of Xbox thing. But that one always had problems where the AV out port was really loose. and you had to like put the cable in a specific way and then hold it a specific way to get any video out of it at all. And not like it was to get any video out of it at all, but then it was also like it would be mono or one of the colors would be missing or some weird crap like that. It was very hard to get a proper video signal out of that Xbox. And so I got it to work. I set it up at the start of Xbox thing, and I just like didn't touch it for like a year because I was afraid that if I touched it, it would never work again. And sure enough, in the move up here, it just like permanently died. I can't get any video out of it anymore. So the problem is not that there's a loose connection with the board. The problem is that the pins inside the jack are messed up. And it just came like this from eBay like 10 plus years ago. I assume that it had been dropped at some point with the cables inserted. I feel like that's what the problem is. Because it also has like some cracked plastic. So I think it was probably dropped with cables inserted and that like bent something in there. But the only way to fix it would be to replace the AV out jack, which I could do, and that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to get a console that's broken for other reasons and then gut the AV out port from it. But, so that one's not going to work anymore. At the start of Xbox thing, I attempted to buy a new Xbox to fix this problem. I bought a 1.4, so I also figured a 1.4, that one with the loose AV out port was a 1.6, and the thing about 1.6 is that they do not support 480p out for certain games. And there are ways to attempt to fix that, but some games are just still 480i only on 1.6s. So I bought a 1.4 as well, figuring then I'd be able to get full 480p out on every game, and it would fix all my problems. But it turned out that that console had a problem where, and I think this is due to certain bad capacitors, it is not delivering enough power to the AV out port to power the HDMI dongle thingy that I have, which the 1.6 was. So we were getting worse video quality out of it. Actually, we were getting composite video only out of that 1.4. So I sold that thing at some point and went back to the 1.6. Then the 1.6 is dead. So for now restarting Xbox thing, like a week or two ago, I bought another new Xbox, hoping that this one would surely not have any problems. And sure enough, it has the same fucking problem as the last 1.4, where it has bad capacitors and can't deliver enough power to get good video out. So right now I am using component cables, but they're like these cheapo $5 component cables, which is why there's a noise pattern running up the image. I don't know if I can try to fix something about that, but yeah. But basically, I have never had a fully good working Xbox in my life, even though I've owned 4 of them, is what I'm getting at. And at this point, I am considering getting a 5th broken one so that I can steal parts from it to try to repair the 1.6. Because if the 1.6 just had a firm AV out port, then it would be fully good. Like, it wouldn't get 480p out on every game, but it would get 480p out on almost every game, and that's good enough. You know, and at this point, it seems like non-1.6s mostly all just have bad capacitors. So I'm ready to surrender and just try to, like, repair that shit myself. Of course, another option is to try an HDMI hard mod. There's a hard mod where, like, it just rips the pixels off the video bus and then outputs an HDMI signal. So that's, like, the actual best quality video out you can ever get from an OG Xbox. But the thing about that is that it's really hard to install, and I couldn't do it myself. And it's also just a really expensive mod in general. I don't want to spend, like, $400 on that. So that's where we're at in the world of Xbox stuff. But basically the TLDR is the Xbox hates me. I love the Xbox, but the Xbox does not love me back. Yeah, no, like a professional, like, you can buy a system that's already been, like, refurbished, recapped, all that stuff. But those are really expensive too. Those are like $200-300 on eBay I was seeing when I bought this one, I think. And I don't want to spend that kind of money on an Xbox, because even if it's been, like, repaired, even if it's, like, repaired to perfect condition, it's still a 25-year-old computer, and it will not stay in perfect condition. Some other problem will crop up with it, and at that point, I'll be stuck with an Xbox that's not even HDMI modded that I spent a ton of money on. Like, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I might as well just spend a little bit more to get one that I already know is good, HDMI modded, but... I did make the 20 mil mark, but, like, barely, so I'm trying again. I'm running back the train one. I feel like it'd be so sick if that train on the left could move. I don't know if it can. Just, like, back and forth a little bit. Like, when something exciting happens in the game, the train could move around a little. Yeah, Halo 2 is really good. I agree. Thought the shoot again thing was lit. Oh well. It was ball. That was only ball 1. Okay, I thought that was ball 2. And I could pull... I do currently own 2 Xboxes, but I don't want to pull the AV out port from a functioning Xbox. That feels like murder. This thing, you can't get good quality video out of it because it's too weak, but you can get video out of it, and for most people that would be acceptable. So it would be murder to scavenge this Xbox for parts. I don't know. I feel like most people don't have these issues, but I don't understand how it could be my fault either. Like, I know that it's like, if someone, I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're hearing someone describe all of their tech problems they're having, and you start to wonder if it's their fault and they just don't realize it, you know? And it's like, okay, you know, maybe they've somehow brought this on themselves because it's not normal to have this many problems. But, like, I swear I'm not doing anything to the Xboxes. They're just like this out of the box. And I'm also sort of wondering, like, the video solution I was using before was that HDMI dongle, which has very good reviews. You know, for most people, it seems to not be an issue. And, like, you do get pretty good video quality out of it when it works. But I'm wondering if, like, maybe I bought it too early. Like, because, like, I have, like, an early revision one of them. Whereas if you buy it today, it's, like, a newer model. And I'm like, maybe most people just own the newer model because it's been for sale for much longer than that original thing, which was, like, the first batch. And it's like, maybe the first batch ones are just fucked up, and you don't see lots of complaints about it online because not many people own them? I don't know. But yeah, just constant hardware problems. Too hard to look at 2 balls at the same time. I'm not capable of that. Oh, wait, Passenger Frenzy's not the same as Multi-Ball? I thought that's just what they called Multi-Ball on this table. Never mind. something's activated. What did he say? Ooh, super jackpot. I have no idea how many points I'm getting off these things. I have 50 mil right now. And that was my multi-ball. That's pretty good, though. This is a more respectable score. This is a much more acceptable score for this table. Oop. But yeah, I'll say I don't know anyone else who's ever had problems with Xbox hardware. It's only me. So I don't know, maybe I'm just like Electro from the third Spider-Man movie. When I touch stuff, it just like zaps. I just have electricity superpowers. And I just zap everything that I touch and it stops working. I had a 360 red ring on me as well, which is annoying because I wasn't even like gaming on it that much and it just died, but 360s do that. Not much that can be done about that. Just casually practicing Zone of the Enders 1 speedrunning and it had to red ring. Well, 78 mil's pretty good. 78 mil's pretty good, I think. I think it's just bad. I mean, it is Microsoft. Like, they had no idea what they were doing making these consoles. Kind of famously so. Couldn't quite be sure. Like, I don't think that the Series X or the Xbone... It's so awkward to talk about mod... Like, what was I supposed to say there? The Xbox Series X or the Xbox X? Like, ugh. What a mouthful of shit. Like, why'd they do this, Microsoft? But I don't think either of those consoles are really known for hardware faults. I think they're fine. I don't think they have a problem. But before that, the 360 and the OG are just like... just like clown shows. Like, what were they doing? The OG Xbox is basically just like a PC that they slapped in a custom case, and the 360 is the 360. But, I don't know. I don't feel like, to be honest with you, I don't feel like I need to get the high score on all 4 tables. I got on the high scores for all 4 tables, and I kind of feel like that's good enough. I don't know if anyone feels differently, but... You know, nothing happens when you get 100 mil. It would be a completely arbitrary goal. So I think we're good with pure pinball. Yeah, a lot of PS3s cooked themselves as well. My PS3 can't play PS2 games because it shuts off due to thermal throttling after like 10 minutes. It makes the scariest computer noise you've ever heard before it does it. The fan genuinely sounds like it's about to explode. But, you know, you can fix that. You can, like, get in there and redo the thermal paste. I just haven't done that because, like, I don't know. Tearing down a PS3 is kind of scary. It gets complicated in there. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stop the timer on pure pinball. I think that's good. We've played all 4 tables. To an extent. I got a score on all 4 of them. The anime girls from the cover never show up in the game. I thought they'd at least be on the table somewhere, but they're not. They're literally just on the title screen and that's it. Not sure what the point of that is other than... I don't even know. I actually don't even know. Is anyone really buying this because of the girls on the cover? That is kind of my review, E-Tanks. I expected the babes. Oh yeah, we should go check the credits. Good call on that. Wow. These are the credits. Completely babeless. Are these all like... Where's this dev from? Are they like... Like, what are these names? Are they like Hungarian or something? Complete guess. Those are the people they got to do the voices. Never heard of any of them. Are they Swedish? I mean, definitely, like, you know, produced and directed by Bjorn Larson. Like, I wonder. But yeah, there's pure pinball. Give me a sec and we'll go ahead and get this thing wrapped up. All right. Yeah, Swedish company, but a lot of the names on there looked like not Swedish, like somewhere else. Yeah, each of the babes definitely represented a table, but they weren't anywhere on the tables. Also, I'm not sure how they represented the tables, because, like who is that babe on the left then? Like, which table was hers? Like, obviously, the World War II table was the military babe. The sci-fi babe is the space one. The train one is the cowboy babe on the right. But who is that on the left? The fourth table was Cars, and that's like a fantasy, maybe like elf babe. I don't even really know what her vibe is supposed to be on the left of the box art. Well, no, because oh, okay, no, yeah, I'm mixing it up. That is space. Hang on. That is space on the left, and then, but then she's holding like a laser gun, that, you know, second from the left. I thought that was the space babe, but yeah, that could be a racing suit. But isn't she holding like a gun? Or no, that's just two guns being held by the military babe, maybe. I thought that she was, well, she's holding a racing helmet, but her other hand, I thought that in her other hand she had some kind of like laser blaster. And so I thought that was a spacesuit, and then I just ignored the obvious driving helmet that she's holding. But anyway, that clears it up. So the other one is supposed to be Space Girl. But anyway, that was game 147. Pure pinball. Okay, that explains it. That explains why there's a bunch of Hungarian names in there too. We played about an hour of pure pinball. American Pinball Reborn is the subtitle, which is pretty funny. How was it? No sewer level. It sure is pinball. I mean, what more can you say? I mean, the ball didn't clip through the table and soft lock the game, which makes this better than Pinball Hall of Fame. I'm just gonna abbreviate it to PHOF. I feel like the ball physics are pretty decent on this. Like, I don't really have anything to complain about there. It was perfectly playable. There was nothing wrong with it. I think the tables might have been slightly... the tables were maybe slightly boring. Like, nothing very exciting happened. Nothing that interesting happened in the tables, right? Like, you hit stuff, and then it said numbers at you, but there were no, like, exciting gimmicks to the tables. And I was saying earlier, but I feel like if you're making a pinball video game, you're not constrained by the laws of physics or reality. You know, how much mechanical stuff can you cram into a pinball table? Like, nah. It's all about like what is the coolest pinball you can make at that point, in my opinion. And it's they sort of made tables that I think even in real life would be considered not that interesting. So, but also I'm not that much of a pinball guy, so like I don't really care that much one way or another. I will say this was apparently only $20. Game apparently was only $20, and like, okay, so it was a budget game. That's why there's only 4 tables. But Pinball Hall of Fame had 9 tables, I think. And those are all real tables, and these were not. And those are like from different historical time periods. You could play like a 30s pinball table and stuff like that in that game. This game was just like 4 kind of generically modern pinball tables that all aren't that exciting. So like, but you know, it is perfectly functional. There's nothing wrong with it, really. So, I think it's a 3, is what I'm saying. It's like a light 3. I can't give this a 2, because it's not actually bad. It is disappointing that the babes weren't in the game, though. I thought they'd be... I thought they would be like the voices that tell you, you know, like when you get a jackpot or whatever, they would be like, you just got 5 million points in like babe voices, but it was just like a guy on 2 of the tables. So like it wasn't that. Or I thought they'd be like in the visuals of the table somewhere, like on the table itself, and they weren't. 8 3-stars in a row. I think I might have a problem with giving too many games 3 stars. Please vote for something that's not mid next, okay? Yeah, maybe if I turned off the room. I just feel like, wouldn't it be... Like, I don't know. I just have my own feelings on what I would do if I were making a pinball game, and you would be able to walk around the room and, like, spend your points that you earn from playing pinball on stuff that you can put in the room. I'm just saying, it would take them an extra month to program that in. I don't know, something like that. And it would be so peak. It would be a 4 if they ever did that. Yeah, the glass reflections made it like impossible to see the table, so I had to turn them off. It's good that they knew that it was that it was a problem though. Like they give you the option to turn that off because they knew what they had done.